Alright, here we are. This is now my fourth game of the Out of the Basement tournament, and this game is going to be my orcs against high elves. Now, first looking at the board and mission, it's another board where, I think they're doing this with an eighth in mind because there's just terrain everywhere. And looking more of how the game was set up, first of all, we had a different deployment where it went from your bottom left corner up to 18 inches up the right. So that's why both of us are kind of slanted there. And so the corner I was in, with all the woods and stuff to go around, it was going to be kind of difficult to go around that. But, that's just the way it is. But the one thing that was going to be fantastic is that my opponent here, this high elf player, it seems like every time I go to a tournament, I'm matched up against this guy, and it's always a great game. We always have lots of fun. I have a pretty good record against him, so that was pretty positive walking in. But we see what happened. So looking from my side, left to right, I put all my war machines there. Then I had my chariot, unit of orcs, another chariot. Then my wolves were behind the woods there, and behind them there was a unit of orcs to follow up behind. Going up the right flank, I had my two shaman chariots. I had my night goblins with my great shaman. Behind them, the savage orcs. And then on the far right there, I had another unit of orcs. Actually, two units of orcs. For him, on the far left, he had a wolf chariot. He had a big unit of sword masters with a lord prince, a high elf prince there. He had two eagles. Then he had his spearmen, and he had a mage in there. Then he had another wolf chariot. He had a bolt thrower. Then he had some phoenix guard with another mage, another bolt thrower, and then unit of archers there behind the hill. And I should say one thing that was more about this mission was that apart from just having deploy different, it was a thing where at the start of all of your player turns, you roll a toughness test for your general, and if you fail, you lose one strength and one toughness and one power dice if you generate it. So for me, it's no big deal because I'm toughness 5, but for him, it was going to be a fairly big deal. And of course, if you go down to 0 toughness, you're dead. So his general could actually end up killing himself. Anyway, looking at the tactics going into this game, I really couldn't fit my blocks on the left flank, so a lot of my blocks are going to have to swing around the right. So the main idea was for that to happen, to rush up the right. I'm probably going to meet up against those Phoenix Guard. I'd smash them with chariots, beat them, and then trying to get around to the left side as fast as I could. On the left side, I knew he was going to be approaching up pretty quick, and so that's why I actually put my war machines there. First of all, because that's the only place they could go with line of sight, but second of all, they can do a lot of damage. I mean, those eagles are going to be screaming for me, but I can shoot those down first, then blast the chariots, and then start working on the units such that by the time they get up to me, my one block there with 2 chariots should be enough to be able to handle them. So that's the plan anyway. And here's just a better picture on the right side here. So just another thing, I assume his Phoenix Guard is going to be plugging up the one hole between those rocks in the forest, but then when my orcs swing around, I can flank them. The other one can walk up to the archers. Oh, there's actually 2 archer units up there. And yeah, it's going to be a thing of who can break through first. So high elves, they get the first turn. You actually don't start taking toughness tests till turn 3, sorry I forgot to mention. He starts shooting up as fast as he can, as you can see there. In his magic phase, he had a horrible magic phase. His one mage on the left miscast, took a wound, and then even the magic phase ended. So just a horrible magic phase for him. And then here on the right side, all of his shooting was going towards the night goblin, so he killed a couple there. One thing that's going to be classic for this game is me making 6+ saves like crazy, but the reason why he's targeting them is he's certain that there must be fanatics in there. There isn't. But for me, it actually is going to affect me because once I lose these ranks, all of a sudden I'm going to be not that powerful in combat with my shaman, with his weapon that needs ranks to get more powerful. Alright, orc turn 1. So my unit moves up here as planned. The unit that's supposed to be following them failed animosity. In the shooting phase on this side, my frickin' Doom Diver exploded, but whatever. After that, everything got a lot better because between magic and shooting, I killed both eagles. So all of a sudden now, the remainder of my war machines are fairly safe. As you can see, I also failed animosity on both my Wolf Rider units, but otherwise I'm just moving up to try and engage him as quickly as possible. High Elves turn 2, so he's still moving up, and now I'm getting a little bit worried on this side because he's not really dedicating with any one unit, and whereas I'm pretty sure my block and chariots can beat some of one of those units on their own, there's no way I'm going to beat all three, the sword masters and the spearmen and a chariot. So now I'm a little bit more worried. I'm going to have to be very careful next turn on what I do. Just to mention again, for his magic phase, he is going to have another miscast, and his one wounded mage is going to kill himself. So just some really bad luck on my opponent's side. And then on this side, like I thought, his Phoenix Guard are moving up to engage me, and he does some more shooting at my Night Goblins. Alright, so on this turn here, I declare my Wa so I can go and do a lot of damage and run up there and at least hit one of these units, break through. I was actually planning to hit the one unit with my block, hit another one with a couple of chariots, but it didn't matter because I rolled a 1 for that unit. They lost some things and now they're just standing there. So what I did instead is I hit the sword masters with both chariots, killed a whole bunch, but obviously not enough. And then he actually did 1 wound back. Turns out he just barely beat me by 1. 1 chariot holds, 1 breaks, and wow, that's pretty bad. Because whereas I thought I was going to be a punch through or at least hold them up, now that's just really bad. Other shooting at the other chariot at the other side there, it's now down to 1 wound, so that's good. One of my units of wolves is gone because it exploded. It rolled a 1 and lost a whole bunch. You see my savage orcs there? They rolled a 1 as well, and they took 4 wounds, but I rolled 4 6+ ward saves. It was just, I laughed so loud I actually embarrassed myself. On the right, that top unit of orcs, if you see there's an orc up on the hill, that's where they're supposed to be. They charged 1 unit of archers. The archers ran off the board, and it was a failed charge. Otherwise, I moved up the 1 troll to redirect that 1 Phoenix Guard unit, and then I'm really just kind of waiting now for him to make a move. Otherwise, I'm just going to swing around to the flank with my other units there. High Elf turn 3. Very bad news for me. He charges my 1 unit there that failed animosity. I fled, barely nicked the tip of the other unit. They fail panic, and both units are off the board. So this left flank, whereas at first I thought I could punch through 1 unit, then I was hoping just to hold. Now it's been lost, so that was horrible. And the 1 lion chariot went and destroyed 1 spear cheka. You can see on the other side the Phoenix Guard decided to charge the troll. They beat it, but then decided not to pursue, so my troll is now in the woods and the Phoenix Guard are just standing there. And here's just a better picture of this side, and his shooting has now been going at that 1 unit of orcs, killing a couple more, while his archers killed a few more night goblins. So orcs turn 3. I shoot and destroy that 1 chariot on the left. My chariot rallies. On this side, I do great. I hit the flank of the Phoenix Guard with the 1 unit. They actually wad up to get me a better hit on them. And then I hit them in the front with the chariot. Between the 2, I broke them, ran them down. The troll rallied. And then those arcs on the far right, you can see that banner way up there. It charged the other archers. They fled, got away, and so now they're standing where you see them. And so basically the way it looks is that I'm going to swing around this flank, he's crushing me on the other flank, so it's going to be neat to see where we meet in the middle, but see you in the next report to see what happens.